So Jesus is led by the Spirit into the wilderness to be tempted by the devil. What's that about? We probably often think of temptation as an impulse to do something we're not supposed to do. Like a little devil sitting on the shoulder saying, "Go ahead, kick that dog. You know he's asking for it." Right? And a little angel says, "No, no, no, don't kick the dog. That's not nice." This temptation that we hear for Jesus, though, it's not like that. It's about something fundamental. It's about identity. The question is, who do you think you are? Or to put it more devilishly, perhaps, who do you think you are anyway? Jesus has just been baptized and been told by a voice from heaven that he is beloved. So now what? What to do with that? And who do you think you are anyway? I'll tell you who you are. You are what you do. You are what you produce. Turn this stone into bread. Do something worthwhile. The artist Duchamp hated that standard coffee hour question. So what do you do? It's innocent enough, but his stock answer was always, "I breathe." But really, you are what you do, right? You are what you produce. If you're not producing, you're a drain on society. Isn't that what we're told? Jesus says no. God is more than that. Well, if you're not what you do, then you are at least what people see you doing. Go jump off the temple and let the angels catch you, bring you gently down to earth. People will love it. They'll see who you are. They'll follow you then. You are what you do. You are what people see you do. Now, maybe we wouldn't get away with jumping off the steeple and floating gently to the ground, but it's true, isn't it? It's what people see. I mean, if no one sees what you're doing, if no one applauds what you do, if no one affirms what you do, what are you doing? Are you worth my time? Jesus says, no, you got that all wrong. What comes from God doesn't need to pass any test of human value. You know, spring is coming, believe it or not. And soon God is going to sprout hundreds, if not thousands, of dandelions all over our lawns. Whether we think they are fine art or weeds. It's not waiting for our approval. Well, okay then. So imagine you see someone who looks like nothing much. Doesn't probably amount to much. Doesn't look like he's doing anything. A person of not much account. Until a limo pulls up on the side of the road and the driver gets out and says, "Sir, your ride is here." And the guy gets in the limo. Well, I guess we had him wrong. Because when you get right down to it, you are what you have. Right? The devil takes Jesus up to a great height and says, "Look at all this real estate. Waterfront, industrial, high-end residential, low-end residential. It's all good real estate. You are what you have." You ever see that movie from the 90s, Glengarry Glen Ross? really powerful, about some sort of middling real estate agents that aren't performing anything spectacular. And one evening, they're all called into the office, and this gentleman from higher echelons comes to talk to them. Someone from corporate. And he just starts reaming them out mercilessly, berating them for their lazy, poor performance. And one of these poor guys interrupts him to say, "Hey, what's your name?" And his answer is, "You drove here in a Hyundai. I drove here in an $80,000 BMW. That's who I am." There you go. You are what you have. He said, maybe in central Maine we don't really relate to that so much. Right? Not a lot of opportunities to be ostentatious around here. We might actually more closely think of ourselves as the have-nots, sort of middling have-nots. Well, listen, you are what you have, or you are what you have not. Same thing. Jesus says, enough. Stop it. This temptation that's outlined here is not a temptation to be more than we are, to think ourselves bigger when we should be thinking we are small. It's a temptation to be less than we are. Who do you think you are, anyway? You are the Word of God expressed into being. You are a delight to your Creator. You are beloved. And you have life. Now and forever. The gifts of God for the children of God. Take them. Amen.